everyone. People are still coming in because there are a lot of us here. So it takes a little while for the screens to settle down. Thank you, Yale, for the belated birthday greetings. I celebrate the whole month, so you're not even really late. Well, welcome everyone. The screens are still jumping around, but I'm going to go ahead and start talking. Alex, yours was the first face I saw after Eric, and you just look so beautiful and bright and shining. So that welcomed me into the space. I am not going to try to attend to chat while we talk tonight. So I'm gonna count on, Eric butting in and telling me anything I need to know, and so that I can give my full focus to you and to being present with the meditation. For all of you, I'm not Lama Rod. Most of you immediately would realize that, but I like to say that. This is community-led medicine Buddha, which is Lama Rod's practice that we have all learned from him. And when he's unable to be here, he asks that the community continue so that our practice is with medicine Buddha and not just a personality-centered group around his presence, formidable as his presence is, and as much as I enjoy when he's here. But I also enjoy that he trusts the community to go on. And I'm not just saying that because I'm filling in tonight. All of the people who fill in for the community-led practice and offer their heart and their time and their energy to support this, I really appreciate. And so I offer my gratitude to them and to Eric and to all the people who sustain Bhumi Sparsha. Along that note, I feel comfortable doing an advertisement because I am a community member and I have not, as we say here in the South, I don't have a dog in this fight. So if you can just remember that the community and Lama Rod are supported by Donna. And so as you can, give as you can. And I don't know if Eric has that information that he could drop into the chat if you want to make donations. And if you aren't able to give without depleting yourself, please don't give, because this is a community that is here for all of us, and we give what we can give, and Lama Rod always teaches us to give out of our overflow and not out of being depleted. And I apply that in every area of my life. That when we were at Southern Dharma last year and we talked with Lama Rod about this, one of the community members said that if you give out of depleting, then you're actually taking, because you're giving, like if you're giving a thirsty man dust instead of water, and that we do harm when we give what we do not have to give. So I apply that with the finances as well as with time, energy, and attention. I'm going to talk for probably another 6 to 10 minutes as we gather. And what I always talk about is my practice, because that's what I know. And today, for the first, usually when I'm preparing to lead the community-led meditations, I have all kinds of energy and I feel all spiritual and all, generous. And I feel like I'm partnering with Lama Rod and Medicine Buddha. And today, I didn't have that feeling. And my first impulse, human and wrong, was that I should work up to that feeling. Like I should pump up some spiritual feelings, or what I call spiritual feelings, in order to be able to, overflow that kind of Buddha, calm, compassionate energy here. But I don't have that to give today, but I have, what I have to give is my truth. And my truth is I've had a very hard week. Yale mentioned my birthday last week. On my birthday, first I had to attend a funeral. And I say had to because a friend of mine lost her second child. And it was just not an event that I could, with compassion and integrity, not attend. And of course, nobody is going to schedule their child's funeral around my birthday. And this was an adult son. She's someone my age, so her children were, 50. And so I was on my way to a funeral on my birthday, already feeling some complicated feelings. And to be in integrity, I was feeling, a little, holier than thou about it. I'm sacrificing my birthday time to go to this funeral and be there for my friend. And then someone rear-ended me. I mean, like, was looking at his phone and didn't even see that I had stopped in the middle of the road and just plowed into my car, which is less than a year old, because last year on June 30th, I was in an accident and my car was totaled. So now I'm ashamed that I'm in another accident, even though I was just sitting there in the road. It wasn't in no way my fault. And then any of you who've been in an accident, even though it wasn't my fault, and even though I wasn't, nobody was injured, I've spent an inordinate amount of time on the phone with insurance companies and body shops and adjusters. And probably, I feel like I lost 2 days to just that process. And they haven't even given me a quote yet. So I have a lot of worldly things that are distracting me. I've been able to be present with my practice, but my practice has not felt like I prefer it to feel. Also, Lama Rod teaches us that we shouldn't be attached to having, positive feelings during our practice. But I am confident I'm not the only one who likes for it to feel good, better than to do it and it feel bad. I'm anxious or distracted, or worse, I feel nothing. It's like driving to the grocery store, like it's a non-emotional experience. And I've had a couple of days like that, where I do the practice and I really don't feel anything about it. But that's the practice. The practice is not doing it because it feels good. It's not doing it because of any way I feel. And whether Medicine Buddha is with me or not is not dependent on how I'm feeling. Medicine Buddha is always available to us. And that's the core of my message for us tonight, is that Medicine Buddha, is faithful and always present. And we get the wonderful gift and opportunity of sitting with Medicine Buddha and being Medicine Buddha and accessing that presence of the deity within us. And it doesn't have to feel a certain way or look a certain way. The practice is being conscious of being the Buddha, and being conscious that the Buddha, the medicine Buddha, is always present for us, and whatever we say or feel or think, medicine Buddha receives that and receives it for our healing, our growth, and our liberation. So I am going to just glance at the chat and make sure that, yeah, oh, I don't know why I even glanced at the chat. I know that Eric always supports me by putting the prayer document in the chat. And so that is available for you to go ahead and add your prayers. And I encourage you to add your prayers. You know, what's been on your heart? What is concerning you? We are such a generous community that, you know, the prayer doc is always full of our asking on behalf of other people, but ask on behalf of yourself also. I want to encourage you. You know, what are you needing? We are living in some very difficult times. You know, Lama Rod says this is the apocalypse. It doesn't look like we thought the apocalypse was going to look, but this is it. And it feels like we thought the apocalypse was going to feel for sure. So let yourself be vulnerable. Let yourself have compassion for yourself, and, you know, pour your desires, your heartfelt desires, out to Medicine Buddha. And if not in the prayer document, whisper them in your own space to Medicine Buddha. And we're going to start in a few moments with the first mantra, but I'm going to say a few words about it before we start it tonight. And you can go ahead and drop it into the chat, Eric. This is the mantra where I always visualize like a 2-year-old pulling on their mother's, clothing. I'm trying to get her undivided attention while she's trying to take care of all of the things that are required in order to care for a child, you know, feed them, do the laundry, you know, clean the house, cook the dinner. But the child just wants the mom's attention. And that's how I come to Medicine Buddha. I want to know that you are attending to me. And Medicine Buddha is always caring for me, always attending, always present with me. But like a 2-year-old, I want to feel that. I want to see that. I want to know that, you know, you're looking upon me. So when I pray this prayer in my daily practice, it sometimes sounds like a whine, and I am, you know, with that authenticity, honesty, and vulnerability, we're going to enter into the first mantra. And before I do that, I do want to thank you all for being here, because it is my privilege every week to sit with you and Medicine Buddha, to be in a community of people who are leaning into the healing and liberation of all beings is a privilege. And I want to acknowledge that as we begin our practice this evening. Min la sangye kino so and chant with me, or don't, listen or don't, but whatever you do, be conscious that Medicine Buddha is already here, and we want to enter into that experience. We want to settle into the present moment, settle into your space, your chair, your bed, your mat, the floor, wherever your body is present. Just let your attention drop just below the surface, or deeper if you wish, into the awareness that we have medicine Buddha in us and with us. And medicine Buddha desires our liberation and our healing. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. 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 And as I chant this, I am deeply conscious that it is not Medicine Buddha who is not attending to me. It is me who has not been attending to Medicine Buddha. And when I call for Medicine Buddha's attention, what I'm really doing is calling my attention to Medicine Buddha. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. 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 I'm going to chant this 3 more times and then allow for a period of silence for all of us to just settle into our own experience with Medicine Buddha. Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Minla Sangye Kino Soha. And I'm going to ask Eric to go ahead and drop the next mantra into the chat. I didn't read the translation of Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha before we started, but the script is Medicine Buddha. I pray that you know and look upon me now. And as we move into our main mantra, the translation is like this. I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the world so that we may all be liberated. And that is why we practice, and that is why we come to Medicine Buddha. Because each and every one of us prays for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. So let the energy of that prayer in whatever way feels right for you. And we will chant for a few minutes, and then we'll go to the prayer doc. Teata Bekadze, Bekadze, Ma Bekadze, Rasa Sumagata Soha. 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 Teata Bekadze, Bekadze, Rasa Sumagata Soha. Teata Bekadze, Bekadze, Maha Bekadze, Rasa Sumagata Soha. Teata Bekadze, Bekadze, Maha Bekadze, Rasa Sumagata Soha. Teata Bekadze, Bekadze, Ma 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 Bekadze, Rasa Sumagata Soha. Tiata bekanze bekanze ma bekanze razasuma gata so. Tiata bekanze 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 razasuma gata so. Tiata bekanze bekanze ma bekanze razasuma gata so. Tiata bekanze bekanze ma bekanze razasuma gata so. Teata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze mazisuma gata so teata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze razisuma gata so teata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze razisuma gata so Tiata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze azisuma gata so tiata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze razisuma gata so tiata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze razisuma gata so Tiata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze razasuma gata so. 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 Tiata bekaze bekaze kanze razasuma gata so. Tiata bekaze bekaze ma bekaze 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 razasuma gata so. Teata Ombe kanze, bekanze, ma bekanze, rasa sumagata soha. Like this, I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the worlds so that we may be liberated. As we turn our attention to the prayer request, if you have prayer requests to add, go ahead and add them in. Prayers for Y, who is struggling with healing from trauma. Prayers for all the people who are being targeted by anti-trans laws being passed around the country. Prayers for all impacted by gun violence, directly and indirectly in every way. Prayers for my beloved friend. May she find the livable life that she wants and needs and is worthy of. Prayers for those turning to Medicine Buddha seeking stability and peace. May they be healthy. May they be well. Prayers for myself and my grief as I continue to learn to forgive myself for the pain I caused my family and for the loneliness I feel without them in my life. Prayers for all who yearn for things to be different in their lives or in the world. May they have the acceptance that brings peace, including me. Prayers for all who are longing for connection and community. Prayers for Heather, who passed away 2 weeks ago. Prayers for the land in Humboldt neighborhood. Prayers for my late sister Nola. May she find peace. Prayers for my body as work picks up and becomes more straining. Prayers for Sophia. May she find strength and clarity in confusion. Prayers for Tinchiku. May they find rest, community, support, and ease after experience police brutality. Prayers for Twinkle. May they get the care that they need as soon as possible, for they are a potentially broken bone. Prayers for all the relationships I'm a part of, that I can offer the most authentic version of myself when I can, and also accept when I cannot. Prayers for all children and young people with disabilities. May they receive the resources, support, and love they need to navigate the education system and life outside of school as well. Prayers that I can be present this week through the daily grind, pain, and wonder. Prayers for all to feel kindness. Prayers for me as I ride some waves of high anxiety. May I remember that I'm taken care of and that I am more than the waves. And my apology, I lost my place. So I'm going to start where I'm going to overlap so I won't miss anything. Prayers for all the relationships I'm a part of, that I can offer the most authentic version of myself when I can, and also accept when I cannot. Prayers for all children and young people with disabilities. May they receive the resources, support, and love they need to navigate the education system and life outside of school as well. Prayers that I can be present this week through the daily grind, pain, and wonder. Prayers for all to feel kindness. Prayers for me as I ride some waves of high anxiety. May I remember that I am taken care of and that I am more than the waves. Prayers for Sharon as she comes out of a crappy week. Prayers for all of our community leaders. May they know our gratitude for their authenticity and generosity and wisdom. Prayers for beautiful Stephen in his continued journey of addiction and mental illness. May he be free. And prayers for his parents, Mary and Richard, who are tired. May they know sturdy endurance, but also love. Prayers for the trans and autistic trans communities. Prayers for my own healing from a lifetime of trauma. May I not let my suffering overflow and hurt others. Prayers for the people who are supporting me in my healing, in gratitude and appreciation for their support and encouragement and love. Prayers for everyone who lives with chronic pain and illness, and for my support group, that we all find ease, relief, and community. Prayers for Dee in working with their health issues and the damage to their home. May those with the power to help do so without hesitation. Prayers for in their recovery from the devastating fire that destroyed the inside of their home and most of their possessions. Prayers for G as they manage work and serious illness while studying to help others navigate their own health problems. Prayers for M as they live with their debilitating illness and with an attitude of positivity, hope, and love. Prayers for my father as he recovers from heart surgery. Prayers for myself to remember to take care of my needs. Prayers for disabled and immune compromised folk who are isolated and unsafe because of the dropping of COVID safety protocols in healthcare and other public spaces. May I break intergenerational patterns that create distress and suffering for me and others. And may my sons receive compassionate care from all those beings who help their growth, evolution, and liberation from suffering. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes and conditions of suffering, and may all beings experience healing and the causes and conditions of healing. Prayers that my partner finds relief from his depression and anxiety. Prayers for M that she be able to see past her ableism and individualism and recognize herself in community with other disabled people. Prayers that Raj and I will see eye to eye again. Continued prayers for Om as he struggles with addiction. Prayers that I allow myself sufficient rest. Prayers for E, that he may understand that basements are not meant to be flooded. Prayers for Sharon in working with her difficult week in the feelings around death and car accidents. Prayers for all trans and gender nonconforming people. May we be safe and loved. Prayers for the Bumi Sparsha community, that we flourish together. Prayers for the people of Sudan. Prayers for everyone living on the streets of my city, that we find our compassion and sensibility and do the right thing. And prayers for houseless people everywhere. Prayers for Brian as he supports his parents in all ways. May they all feel the presence of Medicine Buddha. Prayers for Rachel, Rory, Noah, Lucy, Penny, and Olive. And holding a space for all the unspoken prayers and all the prayers of our community members who could not be present with us on this evening for Medicine Buddha. I offer these prayers, and let us chant the mantra again together. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. Te ata be kanze, ma be kanze, razasuma gata soha. And thank you, Eric. We'll move into the Shanti Diva's prayer. And we'll recite this 3 times. May I be a protector for those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings, that reach unto the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space. And last, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. Thank you for your practice. I do want to make some closing comments because I'm actually tickled at all the kind of minor annoyances that have come up for me tonight. I'm starting with Eric knows I had an echo in my audio when we started, and I spent like 10 minutes trying to get rid of that before I even came on screen. And then during the chanting, I had this running criticism of my voice, my cadence, and then you saw during the prayers, I lost my place in the prayer document. And so there were I had all of this voice in my head, just criticizing everything I was doing tonight. And I share this not to ask for your feedback, but for anyone who leads these community practices. It doesn't have to be perfect, because during part of the dialogue conversation in my head, I was asking Medicine Buddha to kind of fix this, make it smooth, make it look pretty. And Medicine Buddha responded, "It's not a performance, Sharon." and it's a practice. And that it's not your responsibility what experience the community has of this practice, and that whatever experience you're having is between you and Medicine Buddha, because I can't fix it. I don't create it, and so but somehow I was feeling very responsible for your experience. So I hope you had a productive experience. And productive does not necessarily mean comfortable, because my experience tonight was very productive, and it's the most uncomfortable I've been in leading these practices. I have a prayer. You probably can't read it, but I'm holding it up anyway. On a Post-it note, I have let go of approval seeking. And so I got tickled at myself that I have this prayer to let go of approval seeking, and yet I have this conversation while I'm leading the practice seeking approval. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. They're going to think, whatever, you're going to be as critical to me as I am in my own head to me. And that is never true, by the way. The conversation in your head is the worst thing anybody will ever say to you. Nobody else is thinking that. So I just wanted to share that, because it's been a struggle, and that was my practice tonight, and it was beneficial to practice through the struggle. Anybody who wants to come off mute and make comments, I'm going to just put Eric on the spot and invite you to do that.
Everyone should be able to mute themselves, so go ahead. You can raise your hand if you'd like, or feel free to speak freely.
Go ahead, Karen. You're on mute, I think. Okay, you can't unmute yourself. Okay. Okay, that looks like the comments for tonight.
Yeah. No, not
I can
quite.
hear you now.
So I showed up late and I was like, okay, let me grab a little bit of this, what I can. And I'm gonna tell you, your talk was as valuable as the prayers, because this is the page I'm on, is like, you can't care about what they think about you. You have to do your deal no matter what. And it's not easy. It's easy to say it, but it's not easy to do it, because all those little people inside, they all want that love they never got. And I so appreciate you sharing that. And it gives me some courage. So thank you.
Well, thank you. That is my hope, because I do value this, the honor of being able to lead the community-led practice. And I do prepare, and I want it to be done in excellence for you. But I also wanted to share my authentic experience, because I have in the past let fear of not doing it perfectly keep me from doing it at all. And I just want to invite anyone in the community who wants to lead these practices to lead them. The first time I was going to lead, I told some of my friends, and they're like, "Aren't you scared?" And I said, I'm anxious, but it's a Buddhist community. It's kind of the safest place you can take a risk, because everyone's going to support me, no matter how bad I screw up. So I'm going to show up and do my very best, but they'll be gentle even if I really mess up. So I just Lama Rod's going to be traveling a lot. There'll be lots of opportunities to practice, and I want to make this experience available to as many people in the community as possible, because we get a chance to get to know you. Most of you know me because I talk a lot, and I've done this a lot, and I talk about myself a lot. But every time we have a new community leader, I just feel so much closer to them. And I'm gonna out Yale. Yale, I emailed me, and now she feels like I adopted her, because I've now wrangled her phone number out of her, and I text her and email her, because I need community, and that's how we create community. We get to know each other. So thank you all for your practice tonight. And I will see you again next week at Medicine Buddha, or later if you don't make next week.